Tonight's forecast is sponsored by Ashbrook Audiology, where relationships matter.
Hey folks, thank you for continuing to stick around here on the program. And again, I got a little bit of word for Luis here. Told me he gave my email out yesterday. So if you want to email him about some news tips, I'm doing this in a favor of him. Go ahead and do that, because thankfully none of y'all sent me any exaggerated emails about the winter weather that we didn't see over this weekend. So let's keep it like that, right? Yes, this time of year we're supposed to be seeing snow. And if you remember, by the way, happy Valentines Day to all those out there. I meant to tell that at the top of the weather forecast here, but yes, we are typically supposed to be seeing snow, and about 6 years ago, we were seeing almost a foot of snow on our grounds thanks to the cold air that was in place already. Now this year, this is now the going on second year in a row at this point that we have not seen snow on Valentine's Day, because in years past, it's lined up just enough where we get right on the date or just the day before. But again, 6 and almost 7 years ago, we were digging out almost a foot of snow in some parts of our region. No snow to complain about. A very nice evening if you're heading out on the town tonight to do any shopping or getting those last minute Valentine's gifts. Guys, you still got a little time to do that, right? So get out there, take advantage of it. Maybe request outdoor dining because it's going to be so nice out there. If you do any of that, not a complaint in the sky with weather, and a pretty cool and some nice warm light temperatures for us as well. So if you've been looking for a chance to get out and do something tonight, take advantage of it. Yes, we're going to see increase in clouds, but I'm not expecting them to produce any precipitation. Temperatures tonight, though, are going to fall in the 40s, a pretty above average night. I mean, at this point, we might as well begin to call this normal because it's been so oppressively warm most of February. And I mean, you know, other than that minus cool down we had a couple of days ago, that's not really a cool down. Well, I guess it is, but it's supposed to get like it, not warm back up. But anyway, so pretty calm and clear conditions tonight. Moving on ahead to Wednesday, we do want to remind you, a beautiful, look at this, almost 70. I told you we'd be pushing 70 for Wednesday, giving tomorrow a 9 out of 10. So get outdoors, take advantage of it. Maybe you're not celebrating Valentine's Day tonight. Maybe you go on your lunch break tomorrow and kind of observe it at that time frame as well. Still seeing a lot of warm temperatures, beautiful conditions. Now the caveat with this, we are going to see a southwest breeze moving in. So we're going to definitely almost feel like an early summer, spring-like conditions, more like May than it is February than anything else. So nothing to be complaining about. Area-wide temperatures again for tomorrow: 70 Boones Mills, as well as Ridgeway, pushing it here in the city, 67 Ferrum, 68 Rocky Mount. Our cool friends out towards Ararat and Stewart are coming in at 66 and 65, 67 Woolwine, as well as in Oak Level is 66 degrees for you. So enjoy the unseasonably warm conditions. We will begin to see clouds increasing late in the day on Wednesday, and that is because we'll have a possibility of a little bit of rain moving in late Wednesday night, but I'm not expecting this to be a widespread rain event late Wednesday evening. But again, some areas could see a little bit of that moisture move in our direction. So other than that, we're not going to be talking about any widespread rain for at least tomorrow. And moving on to the weekend, how about this? This is pretty nice to not have any rain icons on here. Warm, very well average. Warm again for Sunday. So now pretty much you could probably be a weather forecaster yourself doing the weather at this point now, because it's been so warm, it's been so nice. Nothing to complain about, and a lot of you are trying to get out there. And like I said, I've been seeing some photos all over social media of tulips and your buttercups and daffodils and everything, or sunflowers are beginning to emerge, and even some of your tree buds are probably starting to come out and produce some of those flowers and leaves on the trees for us. But again, dry weekend in place, mild weather remaining so unseasonably warm. Now we'll have another breeze coming into play for us as you make your way towards the upcoming Sunday. Now, quickly reminder, as you're doing anything this weekend, I know it's getting so tempting to start burning stuff outdoors. We want to remind you the burn ban law goes into effect for beginning on Wednesday. You see the date up there, Wednesday, February 15th. It'll run through the end of April. That is typically, we see this every year. This is because Normally, on a normal winter, we get snow instead of rain, and we don't typically see dry, warm spells like we've been experiencing. Now, again, with this to keep in mind, with this a couple of tidbits. Remember, do not burn anything before 4 o'clock. After 4 o'clock, you can do any of your outdoor burning. That includes, leaves. If you're trying to do any of those small bonfires with using some of the tree logs or whatever you're going to be. That includes brush, woodland grass, whatever it is you're going to be doing. You can do that, but after 4, make sure it's more than 300 feet away to keep that in mind. Now, obviously, if you go and break these laws, which we don't want you to get in trouble, there's a $500 fine plus a Class 3 misdemeanor that'll be held up against you. So make sure you're doing this after 4 p.m. Now, here in the city of Martinsville, there's a city code that is implemented by this, and Luis has probably told you about this already. Again, this requires all open air burning after 4 p.m., but it needs to be completed by 8 o'clock later that evening. So if you're doing any burning, make sure it's after 4 o'clock and make sure it's no later than 8 o'clock. Now, this does not include grilling in little small bonfire pits. If it's in a fire pit, that is okay to use. And of course, a lot of people like to get those scented candles they put around their front yard or their back porches or decks or whatever. That's okay to use. We're talking about, open burns, burning leaves, and obviously you're not allowed to technically burn trash because that is not, first of all, it hurts the atmosphere, then it's a pollutant issue. I'm sure most of you already know that. But remember, if you're doing anything, if you're burning leaves or something like that nature, or trying to dry brush or whatever, make sure it's more than 300 feet. Now, if you're unable to get somewhere between less than 300 feet, make sure you are sustained in a very sustainable location where you can quickly get to water. If in case something quickly catches out of control, you have bucket, water hose, or whatever it is to make sure the fire is sustained. So do know that it's going to be getting warm. You're going to be saying, I might as well go ahead and do my bonfire, which is great. Just remember, make sure you're doing those at a safe level. But again, any of that big burning, remember after 4 o'clock, and remember the city code, don't do anything after 8 p.m. So 4 to 8 is typically when we do that. All right, folks, again, another beautiful dry days in the making for Wednesday. I'm already thinking about Friday. A lot of sunshine out there. We'll see some rain, possibly moving into Thursday, going into Friday. But other than that, we're going to begin to see a nice stretch of some spring-like weather moving in our direction. Take care. We have a lot more coming up right after this.
Your BTW21 weather forecast is sponsored by Zentmeyer Chiropractic.